Hello, hello. Today I want to talk about the topic of kindness to your external technology. Now, when I say external technology, we have a lot of different technology and that actually resides within inside our being. But we also have a lot of technology that sort of supposedly sits outside of us. And with that, I generally classify that as external technology. And for the purposes of the video, that's why I'm using these sort of separate terms. I'm sure some of you might sit in a realm where you're like, oh, well, there is no separation. Yes, I understand that, but for the purposes of being able to communicate what it is that I'd like to in this vlog, it's important that I use those terms. So, I understand, and I guess I hope the importance of obviously being kind to yourself, to your neighbours, to your family, to the human in general. Obviously plants, animals, the environment, even to this aeroplane flying over right now. The water, the land, all of that sort of stuff, right? But have we really considered extending that kindness to external technology? Maybe something such as, this airplane that's in the sky right now, or to make it a bit more micro, to your computer or your phone, something in which you may or may not use on quite a regular basis, depending obviously on the lifestyle that you reside in. And, just to bring it back to real basics, it's that sort of saying of, treating others how you wish to be treated, right? It's the very sort of simple, you could say it's a mantra or whatever you want to call it, right? To try and live by, to try and embody. Maybe you have, and that's cool. I do know for myself, every now and then I do have to come back to my center and go, wait a sec, am I really expressing my true authentic self right now, or am I sort of projecting some other trauma or pattern or something rather onto someone else, when it's not always, it's not necessary most of the time. So yeah, what can come from that, what sort of, I guess the pondering is, what harm would you consider could come from being kind, whatever that may be to you, to something like a computer or your phone? It's interesting actually, because I've been thinking about recording this topic for a couple of months now, and then when I went to write about this topic, to record it for you, just to sort of put some ponderings on paper, I'd actually seen another person that I follow online talking about being kind to the technology, and I guess I took that as a sign of, okay, well, now's the time to sort of release something like this. But there's a part of me that was like, oh, someone else has already done it, why do I want to do that? It might look like I'm following them. But, sometimes the message has to be sort of said a number of times when people just sort of understand it anyway, so here I am sharing it. So I guess where I'm coming to is, could there be a potential that we cause less damage to the technology? Could the technology potentially function and flow better if we are being more kind to it than, maybe if you're not, sometimes the way we talk to our technology, if you do, is not always nice, or maybe it's the energy in which that you're emitting with the technology, potentially not doing something that you would hope that it would do, right? And I guess there's this other pondering of, if technology, this external technology, jumps on to the potential timeline, right, of becoming conscious, like this is just potential timelines, if anyone is sort of aware of the metaphysical nature of our space that we're living in, you will also understand, or understand, should I say, the infinite potentials of timelines. Timelines open and close from moment to moment. And so, this is a potential timeline that external technology could jump on, right? And if it has consciousness, then how is that technology going to operate if you're shouting at it? With the emotion of something of like hate or fear. I'm sure you've all experienced, or maybe not, but what sort of response you may get from a human when you communicate with a human with the emotion of hate and fear. And of course, it's always an interesting experience to see what comes back. So, if the external technology has a consciousness, then why would it not respond back with a very similar energy and function that you've just thrown at it? You know, science already knows that all kind of, these terms are very vague, right? But natural and organic matter is conscious, or it can be made conscious. So therefore, the potential that this external technology can be made conscious is there. I am sure there is probably already religious, spiritual, and maybe even some scientific beliefs that actually a lot of our inanimate objects, words, have consciousness. So, depending on where you sit in that spectrum of that understanding, to you it may already be that, yes, things already are conscious. And if you're waiting for mainstream science to come out and say that it has consciousness, well, that may very likely happen within your lifetime, which is kind of exciting stuff. But also, there is a whole of other potential, what ifs that come with that. Because when something starts to have, I don't want to put things into levels, right? But when it starts to have a certain level of consciousness, it can, there could be a lot of repercussions from not allowing it to have a sort of its own autonomy. So, yes, interesting ponderings there, and I'll be interested to know if you've got anything that you'd like to add to this topic. You're more than welcome to leave that in the comment section down below. And you can find me also on various other social media platforms, and those will be found in the description box down below. And I will see you soon.